Hi, a very good morning. My name is Adam and welcome to the Verdure Infertility channel. So today I'm going to share with you a very important topic about fertility, and this is the anti-Müllerian hormone, also known as the AMH. So as you might already know, when a baby girl is still in her mommy's tummy, she already has millions of eggs to begin with. So after she's born, when she reaches the age of puberty, which is around 12 to 13 years old, she only has 250,000 to half a million eggs left. But throughout a woman's lifetime, there are only around 400 eggs that are good enough and mature enough to be ovulated. But even when this is the case, the time of menopause for each woman can be very different. Some women can reach the age of 55 years old or even older during the time of menopause. But unfortunately, there are women who reach menopause before the age of 35. So this is what we are going to talk about today. How come even when all women are given almost the same amount of eggs to begin with, their fertility journey can be so different? So to begin with, please allow me to share with you a true story about one of our clients that visited us about 2 years ago. Her name was Miss Chan, and she was 36 years old, but she was really this close to menopause. Her AMH level during the time was 0.6 pmol per liter, and you'll later find out how poor this result is. So she went for 4 IVF cycles in total before she was able to get a baby. And for the first 2 cycles, the doctor were only able to extract 1 egg each. And so unfortunately, these 2 cycles, they failed, and so she had to go for the 3rd one. And the doctor was able to get nothing out of her, absolutely nothing. She was really devastated, I would say, and there were really no words to describe how sad was she. Fortunately, she found us and she accepted our treatment. So about 1.5 years down the road, she went again to do an IVF cycle with the same IVF hospital. But this time she was able to get 2 eggs. And the difference here is the quality of these eggs compared to the first 2 treatments. So the doctor was able to get 2 grade A embryos for her. So the doctor implanted one for her first, and the baby boy was born healthily. And she's now even thinking about to get another baby sometime around later this year or even early next year. So the learning here is that even though AMH levels can be very low, it can be very devastating, but if you increase the quality of your eggs, then the chance of your fertility increases significantly. So please allow me to share with you a bit more about AMH. Actually, this hormone is secreted by your follicles, meaning that the higher number of follicles left in your ovaries, the higher the amount of the AMH. And so this AMH is a direct measure of your ovarian reserve, meaning the capability of your ovaries to provide good quality eggs for a healthy pregnancy. And so this ovarian reserve is more or less like your bank's saving account. And the more money you use, the less money you have left in the bank account, right? Except this AMH, one thing that's very different is that for money, you can earn it back. But for AMH and ovarian reserve, once it is being used up, there's really no way, I would use the word impossible, for you to get it back. But what you can do here is that you can increase the quality of your eggs. And here's why AMH is so important. As you can see in this photograph here, from a completely immature egg to the stage before ovulation, AMH will support the follicles to become mature. Towards the second half of the stage, the follicle-stimulating hormone, or also known as the FSH, will take over the job so that ovulation can happen. But as I will explain later on, more AMH does not necessarily mean it's better. So then, have you ever wondered what is the definition of a good AMH level? As you can see in here, there are actually 2 measurements of AMH. One is pmol per liter, and the other one is mg per ml. And it would be the best if you can have an AMH level of at least 15.7 pmol per liter or 2.2 mg per ml if you're planning a pregnancy. So as you can remember just now, I talked to you about Miss Chan's story. So 0.6 pmol per liter is really low. It's almost going to menopause already. But as you get older, your AMH level will drop. And so if you want to get an accurate understanding of where you are in terms of your AMH level, you should go by the age group. As you can see in this photograph here, your target result should be within these bands. However, please be careful even if you are within these bands, even if your AMH level is very healthy according to your age, but if you're not careful with your lifestyle, for example, if you take up smoking because of stress, if you start to drink too much alcohol, or if basically your sleep is not good, all of these will affect your hormones. And remember, that AMH is a kind of hormone, so you really don't want to mess with that. Now, some of you might be thinking, if you have a very high level of AMH, meaning that you have a lot of causes for it to drop. Now, friends, please be careful. This is a very wrong thinking, I would say. Because as you might realize, or if you can remember from previous slides, if you get an AMH level of higher than 48.5 pmol per liter, or so to say 6.8 ng per ml, you are in the risk of developing something called the polycystic ovarian syndrome, or also known as the PCOS. So for those who are not very familiar with the term PCOS, I'm just going to explain to you a bit more about what it is. So if a polycystic ovary is developed, it means that the ovary can have many amount of follicles, many little small follicles, but they fail to regularly release the eggs, meaning that ovulation failed. So if you're experiencing infrequent or prolonged menstrual cycles, or if you have abnormal hair growth on your arms or on your legs as well, that means you are having an excess male hormone called the androgen. And these are all the signs that you might be having or developing a PCOS. In the opposite way, if the AMH level is low, it can be an indicator of a low ovarian reserve, meaning that your bank account doesn't have much money left. So speaking of low AMH, you might be wondering what is the major reason of causing that? Now, unfortunately, there's one major reason that we cannot control. That's the age. Men or women, we cannot control how old we are, we will just age each day. So as age increases, so just now as I have mentioned about it, AMH will decrease. But there are more things that can cause low AMH at early ages. So if you have imbalanced hormones, or if you have endometriosis, if you have a history of chemotherapy, or even a family history of early menopause or low AMH level at early stages, this gene can very well be passed on to you. So you really would like to watch out for this. Or if you have a habit of smoking, or being overweight or underweight, and even a deficiency in vitamin D, all of these can cause your AMH levels to be low. So this concludes our talk for today, and if you would like to know more about how to increase your fertility or more information about the AMH hormone, so please do stay tuned for our seminar that will be held monthly in Penang as well as in Kuala Lumpur. And should you have any questions, please feel free to contact us, and our friendly healthcare executive team will be able to answer your inquiries. So subscribe to our channel, and most importantly, I hope all of you will achieve the dream of starting a family. Thank you.